Hey guys, just a quick reminder that you can check us out on Reddit r/SplitViewPodcast or on Discord, link is on YouTube, and we're also on Apple Podcast and Spotify and also YouTube. Okay, thanks, bye.
Jolly good morning, everyone. Isn't it outside? It's fantastic outside today.
Yeah.
Lovely hot day.
Can you really still call it morning if it's within like 37, 33 minutes of like not being morning?
You're right the first time.
Yeah. I don't know why I completely guessed that as well.
You're exactly right the first time.
Okay,
and
cool.
no, I will not call it nice at all, actually, because I fucking hate this level of weather. I wish I lived in Antarctica.
What?
I hate the heat. I hate it.
Yeah, well,
it's fucking terrible.
You wouldn't want to live in Antarctica.
I would love to live in Antarctica.
You would fucking not.
I would love it.
You fucking book a trip to a fucking research base and see how you fucking like that.
Well, that's just because there's nothing to... Maybe Alaska, then.
At
least there's something to do in Alaska.
You want to be fucking gobbled by polar bears and instantly freeze the second you step out and have your guitar fucking shatter from, like, the temperature change?
Yeah, true. I probably wouldn't bring it outside. Although, to be fair, it wouldn't shatter because... Oh, actually, yeah, it would. If you went right outside.
Would shatter because there's gaps in the
because Metallica did the only concert ever in Antarctica. And for like 16 people because no one fucking lives in Antarctica.
Yeah, but they weren't there that long. If you bring your
and they were
guitar...
also in like a sun dome thing.
Okay, cool. All right, something horrifying happened to you, Jordy.
Something horrifying did happen to me last night. So it was my lovely mother's birthday on Saturday, so happy birthday, Mum. And on Sunday night we were going out for dinner.
Yeah.
So I got in the car with my girlfriend and we were going to drive down
First mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, unfortunately, that was not the first mistake.
All right.
So I got in the car, started driving, and I see something above me in the car. And,
no.
Yeah. And this lovely, massive fucking spider.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you left something on the top of your car or something.
No.
Okay.
Nope. It's much worse.
Yeah.
On the inside of the car, there's a fucking massive spider that starts crawling down from overhead onto the windshield. So I fucking slam on the brakes and just sit there. Because you know what? Both of us here on Split View have chronic arachnophobia, I would say.
That doesn't surprise me since your car's fucking rancid and disgusting. You don't clean shit out of it.
Yeah, I know, that's true. But the fact that what confused me the most was I have taken that car camping lots of times.
Yeah.
And I've done lots of shit that would warrant a spider going in my car, but this was just parked in my fucking front yard. And then a spider was there.
I would actually be dead if that happens to me because I have literal primal arachnophobia. I have, like, my body literally freezes up when I see a spider.
Well, I had to summon all of my strength to calmly pull to the side of the road and not kill all three of us, my girlfriend and the spider and me.
What are you worrying about killing the spider for?
Well, in the end...
At least you'll be dead,
Well,
Jordy.
I didn't fucking do it at all. I stood outside and made Allie do it because I don't have any... I can't do it.
It's 2020.
Luckily, we were like fucking 5 minutes from... Actually, less than 5 minutes, 5 steps from our house.
Okay.
So we just walked inside and my girlfriend sprayed the fuck out of him until he died.
Okay.
And
hotboxing that bug spray in your car?
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
It doesn't actually smell at all, which I'm surprised about.
Okay.
But I was really worried I was going to fuck up my car because the amount of bug spray that I put on that bitch.
It's already fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of horrifying.
The fact that he was just sitting above me the whole time is the worst part, and now I'm afraid to go in my car ever.
I mean, he didn't want to hurt you. Like, the spiders don't want to hurt you. They just creepy as fuck and evoke like a fucking response from you.
My brother said it very well. He was like, Jordy, you bitch, don't forget that you're more afraid of it than it is of you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that is kind of actually horrifying.
My brother rang me up because we were late, of course, because I didn't know how to handle this problem. And he was like...
Did he believe you?
Yeah, he believed me because I fucking hate him. And he was like, are you done being a bitch yet? When are you going to get here? And I was like, I'm not done yet.
I don't know if I'd believe someone if they told me that. Oh, yeah, there was a fucking spider on the roof of my car, like a big one.
It was inside the car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the roof of your car.
He was like scratching the top of my head for all I know. Fuck, I hate thinking about it. And then my hair, because I have long ass hair, like my ponytail kept tickling the back, and I was like, hey.
It's hidden in the back of your like curls, you know. It's just in there. I've You know what's funny? Cockroaches are objectively worse than spiders. Like
Objectively, yes.
Yeah, objectively to sane people, like, but I'm not terrified of cockroaches at all. I've literally woken up by cockroaches tickling my nose hairs, and then I'm like, oh fuck, like I still shudder. I'm like, oh, get away from me. But I'd rather have like 10 cockroaches in my bed than one spider, even though a spider can do way less.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. First kind of topic. Fucking Jordy last week was like, oh, we'll have a much better episode next time. Fucking setting me up like, oh, I gotta have this big thing. And luckily, I did have a bunch of topics, and I have a full fucking sheet full of like lists and all
hell,
that.
strap in, everyone.
So,
also, I forgot to mention the punchline of one of the jokes I had planned, which is, I hope you're all listening to this in your car, and also look up.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Are you going to inadvertently call someone fucking
Don't look
crash?
up if you're driving.
Yeah, you can just make someone crash.
Yeah, I think that was obvious, but
unless
not
you
to
have
everyone.
a Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, right? PlayStation 5. So
Police Station 5.
PlayStation 5, yes.
Okay, I don't know about this.
PlayStation 5.
Oh, PlayStation 5.
What can it possibly be?
Well, I'm studying law at the moment, so that's where my head is at.
Yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation 5. Tell me.
Apparently it's close to being released, right? Like September or something, or like fall, or I forget. Like
Pretty sure it is at least this year.
Well, yeah, it's definitely this year. Like, they say holiday, but obviously, like, Americans have different fucking seasons of fall or whatever. We don't have that shit. So pre-orders, right? Pre-orders, they might be around this time, right? And people are going fucking mental over when these pre-orders are going to open. There's like conspiracy theories. People are watching the fucking reveal video, trying to find clues hidden in the fucking balls in binary to figure out when they can give a company money. Isn't that weird?
That is the ultimate fucking simp. Deal right there.
Sony, that's ultimate fucking capitalism.
Yeah.
Sony fucking released a statement saying, we'll let you know when you can give us money.
Yeah.
Isn't that so fucking weird? Like, hold on, we'll let you know when you can pay us, give us money, okay?
Don't you worry about that.
Isn't that fucking weird? Like,
that right there is how you know they won the console war this fucking year, dude. Jesus.
Xbox, I think we have talked about it, but Xbox are apparently going to release a tiny console, like it's the whole Series X thing. It's going to be a tiny one, but cheaper. And even then, that wouldn't entice me. Like,
no, I have no interest at all ever again to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, PlayStation right now, they've fucking perfected it. They've like aced it. You know, it's like a Japanese game where you have like super perfect and ace kind of scores. They've S plus that shit.
Yeah,
because they have the great console, great controller, and great launch games. Like, everything's fucking perfect.
And a great UI too.
Yeah,
which definitely fucking helps.
Isn't that fucking weird that Xbox are going to use the same interface? It's going to be in 1080p. Oh yeah, I love buying a 4K console that has a fucking interface running in 1080p.
I can comfortably, like, I believe the last game to come out on the PS4 is Ghost of Tsushima, which came out a few days ago, and I've had a chance to play a little bit of it, and like,
well, before release at least.
Well, yeah,
they're still going to make fucking PS4
before
games
the release
for a decade.
of PS5, and it's just that's what sums up the good shit about PlayStation for me.
Yeah.
That game is fucking beautiful, and it's a PlayStation exclusive. The last one, Death Stranding, which is now on PC, but like all these games are fucking works of art. Like, other than Halo, there isn't a fucking... Which is now on PC as well. Like, there's not a fucking game from Xbox that I can tell you is good.
I literally can't think of any game I would buy an Xbox to play that's even exclusive. Like,
me neither.
Can you name me a recent Xbox One X exclusive?
Not at all. Not at all.
I literally can't.
I don't even know if there is any. Do they even bother? Are they just comfortable being second best?
I think so.
I mean, it's the second best out of two. Or three, I should say, other than the Switch.
Like 4, but...
What's the fourth one?
PC, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah. So, like... Oh, I forget what I was going to fucking say. But, yeah, what... Are you going to pre-order a PS5 when it... Like, immediately pre-order?
Probably. If I get the chance. I mean, they're going to sell out pretty fucking instantly, I imagine.
How much would you be comfortable pre-ordering it for? Like, what... Is there any value to you that would be like, no, I'm not going to pre-order it?
If it's over...
If it's like 700.
If it is over 550, I don't think I'm going to get it.
It's probably going to be around 600, I'm saying. 600's like the point where I'm like, yeah, that's... I mean,
600 for a console is like... I wouldn't. for $6.50. To be fair, though, because I'm going to get the disc version, which would mean it would be a little bit more.
I'm guessing the disc version would be $6.50, discless like $600, maybe $5.75.
Like, so I mean, chances are, I mean, I'll probably get it anyway. To be honest, like it just looks so fucking nuts. I really like it. We've both talked about how we like it.
Absolutely.
Like, I want one of these on my fucking entertainment unit, dude. They look so good.
I've done this thing where I've just incidentally bought consoles that fit the fucking aesthetic perfectly.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
I have an Xbox One S that I bought exclusively as a Blu-ray player. I think we've played Cuphead maybe on it. We played it once.
Maybe.
I've played Life is Strange on it for like 10 minutes before I was like, nah. Game. Yeah, I liked it too, but I didn't want to play it on there. I
played through the whole thing in one day with Ryan, and we had a great time.
Yeah, it's a good game. I played fucking Dark Souls Remastered on it, and I was like, nope.
Man, if ever there is a game that is not for me, it's Dark Souls.
You were like, oh, I'm gonna complete Dark Souls 3.
You should know by now that if I tell you I'm gonna do something 90% of the time, I'm not gonna do it.
I still have that screenshot of me comparing playing Dark Souls to stabbing yourself with nails. Nails. But I have white consoles. I have Xbox One S. I have the PlayStation 5 Death Stranding edition that's white with palm prints in it.
PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah, right. And then I'm gonna buy it. Well, the PlayStation 5 is white. That's so confusing. Like
it's gonna look real nice, dude.
Yeah,
like for sure, it's gonna look nice.
And I have vertical stands for everything, so it's gonna be this nice monolith arrangement.
Yeah, man.
Let's get into kind of the more serious topic.
Hit me.
What are your thoughts on the Bitcoin currency?
Ooh, okay.
Do you want to use it? Have you ever used it? Do you think it's going to succeed? Do you think it's going to fail?
I've never used it. I don't. I think it could become a regular means of currency if they simplify the process more. Now, I actually don't. I'm talking from no experience at all here, because I don't know how simple it is to purchase a Bitcoin and use that to buy things.
It's kind of complicated.
Like, it sounds like, I know you need to go to have like a Bitcoin wallet ID or some shit. Am I speaking any type of sense?
Yeah, there's a wallet, but it's because it's decentralized. There's no central server that is like, oh yes, you buy and sell and trade and all that. Essentially, how it kind of works how YubiKeys work. We have private and public keys. Like,
right,
you are the only person that has information on your wallet's password. If you lose your wallet private key, you're completely fucked and you can't get your money anymore. You can't go to any website to reset your password or anything. Like, it's completely decentralized.
You know, it's funny that you even mentioned this, because I was thinking the other day about, like, money in any form is going to be easy to get from other people.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
You can steal it easily. Physical money, you can steal that easily.
Yeah.
And if you have the means, you can quite easily get it electronically as well, if you really wanted to. Like, you can fucking find people's bank account details just by giving people a ring. Sometimes all you need to do is to get their bank details. And the point of what I was thinking of was, there's never really a safe way to guard your money except for probably this, which is why I think it could end up working. I can tell you don't know what I'm talking about.
That's just physical things in reality.
Yeah, but okay. Like, money is arguably one of people's most important possessions.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to protect that, especially if you have more.
Is this a fucking advertisement for, like, LastPass or something? No, what the fuck is this?
No, I was just thinking
while I was... you're gonna drop an offer code on me.
I was serving some customers, and I was just thinking, like, this whole money thing is so easy to steal in so many different ways. Why don't we have a better way of doing this?
Are you contemplating robbing a bank or something?
No, absolutely not. I'm just thinking, like, it's like, money as a general concept is so fucking easy to get from other people. This is such like a fucking
general, like, just fucking...
I'm nuts, okay?
This is like something you'd think of when you, like, dropped acid. Like, wow, man, well, like, you know, money is just like, you can, like, take it, you know?
Yeah, well, I suppose it kind of is like that, but I don't know. And then I was thinking about all this shit, but I'm like, man, if Bitcoin was easier and I wish everyone would just use it, then it would probably be the best thing ever.
Bitcoin is pretty easy to use, realistically. Like, there are apps...
The problem is I can't go down to Woolies and buy anything with my Bitcoins.
You could, though. Like,
Can you?
You probably could. Like, if they adopted it, but you can get services that let you have a credit card that just converts Bitcoin to money. Oh. You can do that, but... it's a bad idea since the price of Bitcoin changes like all the time.
Yeah.
Like, hey Google, What's the current price of Bitcoin in AUD?
1 Bitcoin equals $13,175.
That's pretty good, actually.
78 cents.
So 1
Jeez.
Bitcoin. I think, how much Bitcoin do I have? I think I used to have like, I don't know, like something Satoshi, which is like we're going to talk about Satoshi, but let me fucking see
You
how
have
much.
at least one Bitcoin?
No, I used to have at least 1 Bitcoin when it was worth fucking nothing. And I fucking like am an idiot for fucking selling it or like using it. I think I bought fucking fear with it or something like that.
Dude, that's fucking funny.
Alright, I don't have I have my backup somewhere, but
Okay.
would you believe one of the first transactions ever made physically with Bitcoin was for a pizza?
Yeah, I would. Because that's such a fucking nerd thing to do.
I don't know how it actually was arranged. I think it was an MIT student called up someone he knew at like Papa John's or something. He was like, hey, I'll give you such and such Bitcoin. This man paid 10,000 Bitcoin for a singular pizza. Do you want to maybe guess how much that is today?
A lot of fucking money?
That is 131 million.
Yeah.
Million dollars. 131 million USD.
I would have killed myself.
There are people just... Do you know what's even crazier? People get Bitcoin. Like, you could essentially run a program in your computer when Bitcoin first started and get, like, trillions of dollars. Because the blockchain, you mine it, right? You've heard of Bitcoin mining, obviously. That's using GPU hashing and all that. It used to be really fucking easy because no one was hashing it. People mined Bitcoin when they're like, this is a cool thing to do. They had, like, 10,000 Bitcoin in their wallet. They fucking lost their computer, and that money's just gone. You can't get that back since it's decentralized. So there are just wallets out there with like millions of dollars in them.
Jeez.
So I want to talk about the origins of Bitcoin because it's fucking weird. So Bitcoin was kind of like authored by someone called Satoshi Nakamoto.
Okay.
Which, Japanese name, right?
Yeah.
The thing about this, he has a Wikipedia page, right? This man, Satoshi Nakamoto, has a Wikipedia page. But no singular detail on the Wikipedia page is actually confirmed.
Oh.
We don't know if that's his real name. We don't know where he was born. We don't know how old he is. We don't know where he is now or if he's even alive. We don't know if he's even a male.
Wow.
We literally know nothing about him. And he authored one of like the most fucking influential digital currencies.
I would say the most.
Yeah.
I don't know any others other than Bitcoin,
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. That's what I was going to say.
Litecoin, Scriptcoin, all these other fucking stupid things.
Yeah.
BitConnect.
Bitconnect.
BitConnect!
Ooh, that's a block of waveform right there.
That's a square wave right there. So isn't that fucking wild? Like this man has this person has a Wikipedia page, but nothing is known about him.
That's nuts.
And there is a picture of him, if you Google him, of just some old Japanese man who recently came out and said, I'm not Bitcoin's founder. So we don't even know if this person is even Japanese.
Why is he in the news if he said he's not Bitcoin's founder?
There's a man called Satoshi Nakamoto who came out and was like,
sense. Yeah.
I ain't fucking do this shit, man.
Yeah.
And there's so many pictures of him just holding up his license being like, I didn't do this shit. There are at least 5 identities on the Wikipedia page that are supposedly this man. Jeez. Isn't this fucking wild? Like,
that's wild because if I made it, I'd be on the front row telling everyone about it.
If you made Bitcoin, you'd be murdered instantly because people would fucking drug cartels would come to you and be like, hey, crack this shit. Give me 1 billion Bitcoin.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's a decentralized
currency. If they gave
currency.
him 1 billion Bitcoin, wouldn't the whole fucking ecosystem die?
No, because it's decentralized. So even if that happened, you can't do shit about it. Like,
well, true.
It's wild how it works. I just find that so fucking weird.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting tale right there. That was a bit of a conspiracy.
Oh, speaking of fucking conspiracies, what was I?
Was this conspiracies part?
No, I did this backwards. Actually, sorry.
Also,
I did this backwards. I had my topics back. Oh. No conspiracies. No, everything's all good in the world.
Nice.
Future technology, Jordy. Since we're talking about gaming, what's another big technological evolution in gaming?
VR?
Cloud gaming, Jordy. It's the future.
No,
cloud
it isn't.
gaming.
No, it isn't.
I want you to talk about cloud gaming. Because I know a bunch about cloud gaming from the technical perspective, but I want to know your thoughts on it. Why you think it's bad? Why you think it's good?
Okay.
What would make it good for you?
Well, I will start by saying it is not good.
What is cloud gaming, Jordy?
Cloud gaming is usually a subscription service, well, actually always a subscription service, where you pay money and essentially you're getting a certain amount of specs and you stream playing games from someone's PC if you don't have the specs to play a game yourself.
Instead of having to own hardware like a PlayStation or a PC to play games, you pay like Netflix to have a computer
access
somewhere
to a
else.
computer, and then you can play games in, I'm guessing they work in tiers, so if you pay $50 a month, you get,
Well, yeah, it depends on the service, but
a 1080, and if you pay $100, you get a fucking full Titan to yourself. Or no, well, I'm saying like $50 would be a shit one, and then like a, upwards from there, you could pay $200 a month, and you get maybe all the games, and you get a Titan. Also, well, not Titan, because that would be a fucking terrible business venture, but a 2080 or something and all that shit. But it's a fucking horrible idea because no one has internet good enough for this to work properly.
I don't think the internet infrastructure is even there for this to be possible.
It's not. I don't know why anyone thought this was a good idea.
Unless like you literally are streaming from a data center in your own home city, even then, like that's a fucking terrible experience.
Like I when I heard that this was even a thing, I was like, haha, yeah, okay, is it April 1st?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why would anyone do this?
Fucking Google ventured into this, and they fucking failed. Google just tripped, by the way. Yeah, fucking Google ventured into this, and their fucking Stadia platform is a mess.
Well, yeah, because anything Google makes is kind of fucked.
Well, yeah, we talked about
they're
Killed
kind
by
of doomed
Google.
to make bad shit, aren't they?
We talked about this, the Killed by Google thing. They have thousands of products that they just fucking abandoned. Yeah. It's like, oh, whatever.
Google Stadia, it's called. You might have already heard of it.
Yeah, well, you've probably definitely heard of it.
Well,
to
it
be
depends
honest.
who's listening, but
It was a big fucking thing. It was like, oh, the future
it was
of
a big
gaming.
thing. But like, here's the thing. On top of that, is it Stadia is the one where you have to buy the games after you've done that as well.
Isn't that fucking
like,
weird?
you don't even get to use your own Steam library or whatever it is that you have, because some people have games already, they just can't play them.
Exactly. You have to
like, I have at least 300 games on Steam, and I wouldn't be able to play any of them.
You have to pay a subscription that gets you access to the streaming hardware, and then you have to buy the games for full retail price. No discounts, no G2A, no CD
And then
keys.
once you decide to cancel it, then you just don't have that game.
I mean, the perfect world would be where you could go to Stadia and sign in with your Steam account and then just have access. I'm not saying you'd remote desktop into a computer, but it would like...
I think the perfect thing would to be you log onto your computer and you sign in with your Steam account and you play a game.
Yeah, exactly.
And fucking skip Stadia
Hardware
altogether.
is expensive though. That's the problem.
If you're paying... How much... Do you know... Have you got written down how much one of these costs per month?
You can't get them in Australia, so it's kind of incomparable.
Like, say if it was fucking 100 USD, right? Which seems like a lot. Maybe 50 USD.
I think Stadia was like $20 a month or something like that.
Well, that's not that bad, I suppose.
Yeah.
I was going to make the argument that you've probably paid off a decent gaming rig by the end of the year if you're going to do this anyway.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like, it's cheap, but you still need to buy the games full time. And if you have bad internet or your internet's down or Google have that fucking issues, then you're fucked. Like,
yeah, you can't play your games. And I
maybe it rains outside and suddenly you have 100 more milliseconds of fucking delay. Like,
and not to mention, let's pretend that you have gone through with all of this.
Yeah,
you can't play a multiplayer game. Fuck no.
You can. You can though. That's the thing.
But it would suck.
It would be fantastic.
Would it?
Yes. I actually have written down a couple of positives to cloud gaming, right? And the reason why multiplayer would be good, because imagine if you have a bunch of people playing on Stadia. They did this with Destiny. So Destiny, you can play it on Stadia. If all of these Destiny virtual machines are hosted in one data center, the multiplayer delay would be 0 milliseconds, since they're all connecting to each other in a single data center through one switch.
Well, that's true.
But obviously Destiny is not hosted on a singular computer. It's hosted in a fucking cloud somewhere. So even then, like, Google have things called backbones, which is where they have their own private internet tunnels that maybe they rent at a cable, which is much faster than public internet. So you could theoretically get way less delay using Stadia or virtual cloud gaming kind of shit. That's one of the benefits. Multiplayer would be fucking fantastic.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good then, I suppose. But I guess it's in single player games where you'd notice it then.
Yeah. What are some benefits you do see with cloud gaming, now that we've listed what's bad with it?
Well, I mean, there is, if it is as cheap as $20 a month, and you don't have any other way of doing it,
You have to buy the games, though.
you do have to buy the games. But, like, I can see it being a bit of a cheaper alternative if you really did want to play games with your friends or something and you can't get it any other way. But it also, like, my thoughts with this is that it's going to inspire some form of technological change that we haven't had yet. If people make this, people might be inclined to make more gaming routers that are stronger. You know what? Have you seen those fucking things? You know, like people. Have you seen those fucking gaming routers? They're so fucking dumb.
I'm not gonna
Look like spiders.
Network engineering is only interesting to me and a couple other nerds, so I don't know if we can have a full fucking conversation on the benefits and like cons to those things. But you talked about technological innovation. I think that cloud gaming just isn't viable right now because of how our internet works.
Yeah.
Like, I think once we have Starlink, you know, Elon Musk Starlink, and we have really low millisecond delay, it'll work. Because high bandwidth internet, less delay. Because one of the main issues with cloud gaming right now is that the server and the client both have to have decent hardware in them. Like, you can't just get a fucking like shitty smart TV and stream a game because it's compressed on Google's side and has to be decompressed.
Yeah.
On our side, you know, like you have to have what's called a H.265 decoder. Like, that's what fucking NVIDIA graphics cards have in them, you know? Like,
yeah,
it's a weird fucking deal.
It's fucking it's a strange medium where we are right now, a strange in between.
Yeah.
We're in an age where we have it and we kind of got it working, but not in an age where we can make the most out of it.
It works, but it's not pleasant at all, and it can be instantly like broken by shitty internet or like bad compression.
Yeah, so hopefully we
It looks like shit as well. If you buy a fucking... You can't stream HDR 4K because it looks like shit. You just can't do that. Or it takes up fucking infinite bandwidth.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's part of the fun of... as I mentioned before, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that game looks goddamn beautiful. And you wouldn't be doing... It's like it's a story, that game. And you would be doing it in injustice by playing
Does it look as good as the trailers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude. Cool. It looks I almost brought my PS4 today just so that we could do it, but... Yeah.
You can just fucking sign in on mine and download it.
Well, that's true. We can do that, yeah. And it'll actually look nicer on yours because you have the Pro and I don't have that. But anyway, what were some of your other topics? Unless you got water.
I mentioned Backbone, right?
Yes, yeah.
These whole private internet routes. You probably didn't know this, but a couple of fucking big internet sites were down for 27 minutes a week ago, or a couple of days ago. Because it only happened in America, right? So Cloudflare, you know what Cloudflare is, right?
Yeah.
It's what we use. It's what a lot of people use. It's basically a both DNS service, which is they provide like if you want to take a name like google.com and route it to an IP address, you can use Cloudflare. You can use some other things. They also have DDoS protection. They can proxy things so that you can't get fucked and all that. And they also offer something called a backbone network, whereas you can have some servers in a data center, connect them to Cloudflare, and then all the traffic will go over their special private internet tunnel. And then that means you'll access the site faster. You can't DDoS, that kind of thing, since it's in a private fucking thing. And a tech was working on one of the Cloudflare routers in Atlanta. Big old gaming edition Cloudflare router.
Yeah.
Bunch of stickers and fins all over it and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Tiny ass little box, like a single Ethernet cable. And he was like, "Oh, I'm noticing some traffic that's kind of having some issues here, right?" And he was like, "I'm going to type in a single line of code to fix all this." Fucking internet in Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Los Angeles, bunch of other places, San Jose, just fucking kaput, gone.
Wow.
Because, like, almost half the internet uses Cloudflare since they offer such fucking good services. And what actually happened is that he wrote a single line of config and sent it to this router, and it caused all of the backbone traffic to fucking pummel this one router in Atlanta.
Wow.
And I don't know if it fucking went down or anything, but obviously traffic going where it shouldn't causes issues, and then like a decent amount of America just couldn't access Cloudflare websites. Ironically, one of the websites that was using Cloudflare is isitupdetector.com. Like, literally, you couldn't go to isitup.com because it was using Cloudflare.
But I mean, that answers its own question, though, doesn't it? If you go to it and it's not up, then
I would just
question
assume
answered.
my internet's fucked if that site didn't load.
True.
But isn't that funny? That's so ironic. I fucking love Cloudflare because they didn't shove this under the rug. They were like, oh, we didn't have an issue. Nothing. It was someone else. They literally made a full blog post outlining exactly what happened down to the literal config line that was put into the fucking router.
Wow.
They even showed their config file and what happened. And like why it happened, where it was all that. They detailed their entire thing. They wrote a huge fucking blog post.
That's really cool of them.
And I read through it.
Did
and I was
that
like,
guy get fired?
I don't think so. Cloudflare are pretty cool people, so I don't think they'd fire anyone over this.
Interesting.
They said we're sorry like 5 times, obviously, but I don't think it really caused any problems or anything. We didn't hear about it, obviously.
True.
I heard about it because I follow Cloudflare and all that. But
Yeah.
I thought,
Interesting that, like, it's still so baffling to me that one guy can write one sentence and fuck up entire states worth of internet. Like, that's so fucked.
One
but also
guy-
kind of cool to me that can happen.
one guy can make a shitty tweet and have us bombed by North Korea, Jordy.
That's true. That's true. That's also more terrifying than that, though.
Did we ever talk about how Trump has a like 15-minute delay to his tweets?
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking funny?
That's
He has,
so good.
He has like baby mode, like where someone has to check, be like, "Oh, Trump can't post that. Can't post this. We'll get
Come on,
bombed.
Donnie, we spoke about this.
We'll get bombed. You don't want us to get bombed."
Yeah.
I want to fucking North Korea bomb us. I want to
To
turn.
be fair, whoever is vetting them is not doing a good job because he's still talking absolute fucking shit. Absolute nonsense.
Do you
he's
remember
talking.
when he got impeached? Do you remember that?
Yeah. What? Nothing happened
Yeah,
with
nothing.
it. But
Whatever. I'm shrugging. That's what I'm doing
yeah,
right now.
like it's that country is just beyond my belief at this point. There is points where I sit down and I'm like, is America real? Because like there's just the amount of shit that happens there. My brain can't perceive it. And I don't know if it's because here in Australia no one gives a fuck about anything, and that's why we're so laid back and like a lot of
We grew up with YouTube and the internet, right?
Yeah.
We watched a lot of American YouTubers growing up.
Oh, yeah.
I always was like, oh, I want to live in America because it looks so cool. And now I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I would never want to. I don't even want to go to America because that place is fucking scary.
Like my whole family except for me went to America for 2 weeks last year, I think it was. And the reason I didn't go is because I was terrified.
yeah, you fucking.
They told me a story of this fucking. They were. Oh, where were they? I think it was LA they were in. And they were walking down the street, and some lady, like, made direct eye contact with my dad or something and just took a shit. She, like, pulled her pants down and just absolutely took a shit on the sidewalk or something like that. Like, I'm sorry, Dad, if I fucked up that story. But, like, all I remember was a lady just taking a shit while everyone watched.
How does that compare to that one trip we went to an African island and people just walking around with AKs? Was that better or worse to wanting to go to America?
Objectively better, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, I had no idea what you're talking about for a solid second
that,
there.
don't you?
No, obviously I don't remember that.
What?
That time we went to an African... What are you saying?
You told me you went to, like, on a trip or something for, like, one of your Christmas things that your family does. You were on a cruise or something and stopped at some sort of island or African, like, country or whatever. And there was just dudes walking around with AKs. Like, it was some, like, third world country.
What are you talking about?
You told me this.
What are you
this was,
talking
like,
about?
5 years ago. You told me this 5 years ago. Whatever, shut up, Jordy, shut up.
Never in my
you
life
gaslighting
have
me, bro?
even seen an AK.
You gaslighting
in
me,
real
bro?
life.
No, obviously not specifically an AK. I'm just talking about fucking a rifle.
We went on a cruise around New Caledonia.
You
and all
stopped
that type of
somewhere. You
shit.
stopped at some sort of third world impoverished country on a stop or something, and you said there was dudes just walking around with guns. Or a dude walking around with guns.
Well, that was...
Why would Google trigger with that?
She just wants to be on the show now.
Yeah.
She's fame's gone to her head. She always is trying to get on the fucking show now.
Yeah.
Especially in your house, everything trips it. But
Yeah. Have we said on the podcast that literally I'll cough and then Google will trigger?
I don't know, but
How
like...
the fuck does that work?
It's so fucking annoying. Because it happens all the time when we're watching movies, specifically.
Literally, me and Jordy would just be watching movies or, like, literally doing nothing, just, like, hanging out. he'll say a random word, or I'll cough, or he'll cough, and then Google will trigger.
Yeah.
I don't fucking get it. How does that even happen?
She's just so antsy to speak to us,
Yeah.
dude. That's what it is. Anyway, for everyone listening, I did not go to a third world
Jordy,
nation with
Jordy,
people carrying AKs.
Jordy, no one
just
cares.
so that's on the record.
Jordy,
I know
Jordy,
no one cares, all right?
What are you doing?
Next.
I have in here a couple of lines. Weird YouTube gearbox videos.
What?
So I had a kind of a topic in here that we didn't really talk about. I was saying right now is great for like technological innovation and remote presence and like audio stuff and like robots and all that. And I always get recommended these videos because I watch a very select niche like category on YouTube, like electronics / mechanical engineering / like concept videos, and I always get recommended these videos of like intricate gearbox / transfer clutch mechanisms / transfer mechanisms for robots.
Interesting.
So what this is, right? Some teenager will like 3D print a gearbox that has some absurd ratio and efficiency and all that. And then in the comments are like, wow, this would be perfect for a new robot. This is a perfect transmission for a new robot. And then I got recommended this one video of like little fucking tiny ass like clutch mechanisms for robots and shit. And I've seen about 10 of these now of like tiny, tiny little mechanisms for transferring energy with like some sort of gear reduction ratio. And they each have like hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube of just mechanisms for like arm joints of robots. And I just keep getting recommended these over and over again. I don't get it.
It's very strange to me.
So, yeah.
Because my recommended is all guitar videos.
Oh, mine's all guitar videos now
Yeah.
as well. Like, just all fucking troglodyte videos of, like, Samurai Guitar Dude or Rob Scallon or Andrew Huang and all that. So, yeah. I don't have much else topic-wise. I have robots, I guess.
I have one question that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, okay.
Because we were posed a bit of a moral dilemma at the moment, because for those who don't know, I'm studying criminology and criminal psychology at the moment, and it's just a basic ass question that I didn't really see going anywhere, but it's something that I think is kind of interesting, and I wanted to ask you about it.
Okay.
I'm willing to bet you probably don't know the two types of basic law principles that countries go off. I'm just going to explain it because
policy and something.
So there's each country is governed by its own set of laws, of course, but most of them are copied from other places that have already established them. And one of them is called like the common law, which is what we're under. And which means that when you go for a trial, now forgive me if I'm fucking up some of this, okay? Because I am still learning it, but I'm just I think it'd be a fun thing to think about. Which means that if you go to, which I'm sure you go to court and you can, like, there's a jury there if you're in a criminal case or something, because they don't have it in every case, a jury. And then those 12 people ultimately decide your fate, right? And the judge is just there to make sure everything runs smoothly, which is something that people don't really know about. The judge doesn't make the decision at all. At all. He has nothing. He has essentially nothing to do with it.
The judge personally decides whether you should be dead.
Yeah.
Or arrested or...
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah, that's not... Isn't that a weird kind of, like, thing that people have in their head? Like, Judge Judy can just decide...
Yeah.
Well, she fucking does. That's what she does.
She goes like, I rule you to whatever.
She literally
Now, they give out the punishment once the people decide.
Yeah.
So you will have heard Judge Judy and other people say, like, I hereby sentence you to
Like the
a life
severity.
sentence or whatever. Because that is decided... Whether the person is guilty or not is decided by the jury.
Yeah.
So the jury will go and they'll discuss about whatever, the thing. Oh yeah, we think he did it. We definitely think he did it. He's guilty, and then they decide on a punishment. The judge decides on the punishment, but they don't decide whether they're guilty or not. That's down to 12 people who are just completely random to decide that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just bumped the microphone. Or there is the civil legal system, which is in places like Europe, where the judge does decide and there's no jury. And I was curious whether you thought, for instance, if you're on trial for something, whatever, doesn't matter, and would you prefer to have a common law or a civil law system? Because if it's a civil system, then it's one man looking at precisely the legislation, and that is it, going, you have committed this crime, you have committed, let's just say arson, which is 7 years of something. You are getting 7 years, and then that's it.
I'd want it to be random.
Or would you like people to talk about it, and that they 12 people who aren't in the law to discuss it and may not even understand what you're talking about completely with the evidence, you know?
There's group mentality, though. Like, a lot of murders are committed by groups because it's like, oh, someone suggests, hey, let's murder this guy. And then everyone's like, oh, he's cool, we should follow them. And it's like this herd mentality kind of thing. Whereas...
I don't think that's true.
That's what happens in fucking, like, children killing people. Like, a child by themselves wouldn't stab someone, but because they're in a group and they're like, oh, yeah, we're all doing this together, they can kind of distribute...
I don't think that happens as often as you think it does.
It literally happened in Brisbane 20 years ago.
Okay. But that isn't the point.
Yes, it is. It's the point because neither are good. Because a judge, he can just be having a shit day and hate you because you're black or something and be like, I'm going to sentence you to this fucking harsh thing because technically I can fucking convict you for this and I don't like your race specifically or I'm biased for some other reason.
Yeah.
Whereas a group can do the same thing as well because what they're like, oh, I've been here for fucking weeks and I want to go home. Oh, this like 2/3 of the group have decided, well, I guess I better go with them because if I don't agree with them, they'll be angry and they'll be like, hey, stop holding me here, you know? See,
now, in Australia, for a crime, or in specifically Queensland, I think, actually, I'm pretty sure it's the same for all of Australia, but if it's a criminal case, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt that someone has committed a crime that they can be convicted as guilty. And it's something that, yeah, went in the hands of 12 people who have bias. Everyone does. And here's the most fucked up part, right? I didn't even tell you about this part because I forgot. When lawyers and everything are preparing for a trial, they get, I think it's about 8 vetoes each. So when you get jury duty, there's like 100 people who show up.
Yeah.
And they get to go, you know what? Say this is classic in rape cases.
They can be quote unquote sympathetic to the plaintiffs, whatever.
If you know in any way the person involved, you're out immediately.
Yeah.
And well, actually, they usually screen for that beforehand, I think. But say you show up and it's a rape case, the lawyer's not going to want any women on the stand.
Yeah.
So they can literally veto women so that they get their outcome. So in the end, they're guiding it towards bias anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just thought the whole class was sort of talking about it for a while. It's just quite interesting to me to think that like there's downsides and upsides to both sides.
Yeah, I just want it random. I would literally don't want to decide that because neither are good. Like literally neither are good. It can go either way.
You are having one of them. If you commit a crime at the moment, you will be trialed in a jury if you commit a violent crime or an actual...
I guess technically with the jury, there can be a discussion. It can be like, someone can be like, oh, this guy's fucking guilty because of this, and someone can be like, well, think of this and all that.
I think it does have to be unanimous.
Oh yeah. That's what I was saying before.
So because everyone has to agree.
If 9 out of 10 of the people are like, yeah, this guy's guilty, and one is like, no, he's not guilty, the 9 out of 10 will be like, no, fucking, we don't want to be here for ages. Just fucking concede, you know.
And it's interesting because it could, you know, I cannot foresee a perfect system, and there just can't be. There physically can't be. Like, because everyone is different. Like, unless this was run by a machine somehow. I was going to
say, what if... I can see that happening, but that's literally the fucking... How do you know the machine is fucking unbiased? How do you know the machine's...
programmed by someone who's biased?
Not corrupt.
Not to mention, like, how do you feed a machine with the amount of evidence that you have to come up with this decision?
You can do it, but you can't... it's the same thing with electronic voting. You can't verify that the machine is operating as it was intended and someone's just not faking the output or has modified it.
Exactly. So, that's the fucked up thing about our legal system, ultimately, is that it's, you know... It's about what that person believes at that particular time.
Well, on that sad note, I guess we should end you off with that fucking cataclysmic reality, which you've just fucking understood.
You know how you can fix this problem, though?
Just die.
Just don't fucking commit any crimes.
That's not an argument. Cop can fucking pull you over, put a little baggie of fucking crack in your pocket, be like, oh, you got crack, boo.
Well, that's true, but...
Yeah.
You know,
you don't have to commit crimes to be on fucking trial for something.
Well, that's also
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that is a pretty fucked up note. All right, see you later, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and check for spiders. See you later.
Bye.